Thanks for staying with us. It is still in the game on News Central TV. Now, the Super Falcons of Nigeria have etched their names in African football history, securing their record-extending 10th Women's Africa Cup of Nations title with a thrilling 3-2 comeback victory over Morocco. And the Atlas Lionesses led 2-0 at the break in Rabat through Ghislaine Chebak's fine curling effort and, of course, a scuffed shot from Sanam Sudi. But of course, we had our superstar player. We had our own plans in the second half. It was Esther Okoronkwo who inspired the West Africans after the break, pulling a goal back.
For a game, and then you come up with a strategy. That is why each time you are even doing the planning, you must have a plan A, plan B, and possibly plan C. If it works out well for you, you continue. If it doesn't work out, obviously you have to make a change. We had a game plan, and what we said we were going to avoid were the same mistakes that we committed that resulted into the 2 goals we conceded. And because we're already chasing the game, we had to fall back to plan B and make sure that we get ourselves back into the game, without which we wouldn't have been able to do it. So it was not as if we didn't just want to make the change. If those strategies we adopted at the initial stage went well, the changes may not have been the one we made, but because we were already chasing the game, that was why we had to make the changes that we made. And like I said, going into the game, we always have a plan of, if we are leading, what do we do? If we are chasing the game, what do we do? If we also need to, try and consolidate on what we have, what do we need to do? The players are fully aware of all that, and we have plans for all those situations.
What God cannot do does not exist. I don't know what to say. I'm just filled with so much emotions and excitement, and I can only say to God be. The thing is, we only told ourselves that there's nothing to lose, guys. We have to give everything, and we should keep our hope alive and believe. If it's possible for them to score 2 goals in first half, we can also score 2-3 goals in the second half. Like, we have to keep the hope alive and believe. That's just it. Like, we should believe.
Feeling happy, grateful, thankful, just happy, really. I just think from today's game, what I would say is don't give up, keep fighting until the end. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. If you believe, only if you believe.
Part of myself and my sister, and I'm just like, I don't know, like, it's way bigger than just football, it's like connection to something bigger than yourself.
I know she's proud. I promised her a goal, and here's the goal, so I'm happy and excited. I love you guys, you're not too much. I'm not leave English, you're not too much. All the support and I don't give us, go in vain. Thank you guys so much. You guys.
What God cannot do does not exist. They say Morocco versus Nigeria, find X. And of course, Morocco became the X of that tournament, while Nigeria achieved Mission X, which was tagged almost impossible, but it became Mission X, Mission Possible for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Huge win for Nigeria right there. And there's another person to give us a better story, a better visualization of what happened than our correspondent over there in Morocco. Onyinyechi Obaro has become a superstar. Yesterday, watching the game, and of course, all over the place we could see. Onyinyechi has actually turned to a meme all over social media right now because of how she indeed celebrated the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Great to have you with us, Onyinyechi Obaro. Tell us what the story was yesterday in Morocco, because at some point, when Morocco were leading 2-0, no supporters club for the Super Falcons of Nigeria, the stadium was packed full. Then when they showed that little contingent, little support that we had for the Super Falcons, we could see the dejection in your faces because it felt like this was all over. But when Nigeria scored the first goal, then we saw those beautiful reactions coming from the journalists turned supporters club. Take us away, Onyinyechi Obaro.
Yes, of course, I'm going to take you away, Udoka. I'll begin with saying congratulations to the Super Falcons of Nigeria. They are 10/10, minus nothing at this time. Mission X indeed has been made possible by the Super Falcons of Nigeria. The generation of players that have said that it's a do-or-die affair, and they must make sure that they continue that omen of getting to a final and lifting the cup. That's a beautiful cup. The latest cup, the refurbished cup,
was lifted by the Super Falcons of Nigeria is something to really be happy about. Let me take you through what happened in the stadium. Of course, at this time, for the fact that the supporters club could not make it to Morocco, journalists, yes, we turned the supporters club of the Super Falcons of Nigeria. We needed to cheer those girls. Now, sitting in the fan stand is a different ball game on its own. Now, it started off with the Moroccans filling up the Olympic Stadium. We were getting scared. We were secluded to a particular part that the girls could not even hear us. They would not be able to hear us. That's the part we're secluded to. We thought that we'd be given a part where we would be behind the girls so they could hear us. We could cheer them and they would get the morale they need in order to overcome the host nation. But no, we're taken to the outskirts, a particular part of that main bowl. But that did not deter us. We continued. We continued raising our voices. The stadium there, of course, majority carries the votes. At every time they go with that Mexican wave, they go with the the claps, they go with the boos. At every time the Super Falcons Super Falcon player touches the ball, they go with the boo. Now, talk about the lasers. Of course, you know, from North African countries, especially Morocco, they know how to use the laser so well. They use it so beautifully well that you will not even see where the flash is coming from. They lased every single player on the pitch. At every time we have the Moroccans attacking towards the goal post of the Super Falcons of Nigeria, Chiamaka Nnadozi's body is always covered with with lasers from different angles of the main ball. Also, when Esther Okoronkwo was supposed to take that free kick, they lased them. But see, these girls, in spite of this, they understand this terrain. They've been there before. They've done that before in the semi-final of the 2022 Women's African Cup of Nations. They moved past the lasers, and it was a beautiful thing that they picked up that win, because the first half we saw that the Moroccans were coming all out on the Super Falcons of Nigeria, and the left back and right back of the Super Falcons, I think we're having weaklings from there, where Ashley Plumpton and also Alozie were manning. But at this time, we could see that when they went into the locker room after the first half, something changed. Something was said to those girls, and they came back and they fought. We saw that fighting spirit on the pitch of play. And after that first goal by the Super Falcons of Nigeria, there was a bit of silence. Oh, we from the fan stand, we gained our voice. We started cheering the girls, singing all the cheers you can ever sing for a team in the hymn book of football. We started singing all those. And the second goal came. After that penalty, the second goal came, the third. It was a win. We knew we had sealed it at that time. Some of the Moroccan fans started leaving the stadium. Those who filled the stadium to the brim started leaving the stadium. It's just an unfortunate situation that they did not really believe or even stand by their girls, even when they were losing. So that's an unfortunate thing. But at the end of the day, at the time when we started going back to the mixed zone, the press conference area, we saw most of them, you know, congratulating us. Good show of sportsmanship from the Moroccan fans, I would say.
All right, thank you very much, Onyechi, for taking us through that one. A huge journey, big journey for Nigeria from start to finish, starting from how the journalists were not able to secure visas to travel and missed Nigeria's first match. But of course, they succumbed that one. They won that game and went on to win the other ones until they got to the finals and facing huge challenges as well. No supporters club, they did go through, they surmounted that huge challenge, but of course emerged victorious. I'd say huge congratulations to the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Now, during the first half of that game, I mean, after the first half, I'm sure fans all over social media were calling for the head of Justin Madugu. But at the end of the day, look, I have christened Madugu a new name. I call him Enzo Maresca Justin Madugu Adiola. That's a new name for Justin Madugu, because he went to the bench, he wrote his script and said, look, girls, go out there and make it happen. Now, we heard from the coach, he said he had to change tactics and all of that. But what did the fans say to the girls after the game? And of course, how did they feel all around Morocco after that huge victory?
Abudoka, I'll begin with your commendation for Coach Justin Madugu. I say it and I lay it on paper, on gold for that matter. Justin Madugu has been able to defeat a coach that lifted the Women's World Cup. Justin Madugu, homegrown coach. He is tutoring this team, even when nobody doubted. There were a lot of doubts. Nobody believed, but he's tutoring this team to this coveted title, the Women's African Cup of Nations Mission X, rounding it off the 10th title. It will go in the history books. Now, there's something that he said in the post-match. He said he's got a plan A, plan B, plan C. That's what you should have as a coach that understand the game, that understand your job. And we could see that he had that plan in motion. He gave these girls a little bit of chance, even after the second half, because when you go into the locker room, you have the talk with the girls, you cheer them up, you make a little bit of suggestions and also instructions, but you come back to the pitch of play, you want to give them a little bit of time to see them execute that which you've said in the locker room. And this coach did that. We thought that he would make the substitution immediately before the start of the second half, but he gave the girls the chance, and we saw that difference. We saw that motivation from the locker room. We saw that there's something that has changed. He has triggered something from the locker room, and they are executing it in the pitch of play. Now, at the time when he made his substitution, that was the best time, because that particular substitute, Jennifer Echegini, yes, made a difference. She sealed it, put the cherry on the cake for the Super Falcons of Nigeria, and they were able to seal that third goal from that free kick of Esther Okoronkwo. That's to show you the pedigree, the kind of coach that Justin Madugu is. The fans were really, really happy. They were happy with the fact that this is a comeback win. And not just a win we started off from the first half. It was a comeback win. The Super Falcons sealed this with a dominant display. Now, of course, the Moroccans, inexperienced detail on the Moroccans, because when they returned, they were clueless on what to do. They only pressed and attacked the Super Falcons of Nigeria in the first half, and they left their defense, because you could see how porous that was. The first goal and second goal they had was just miscommunication, distraction from the players, and how they came with the full force in the attacking force, and that's why they could get that goal. But the second half, we could see Osinachi Ohale. That's where experience came to play. Osinachi Ohale would push the ball forward. The midfielders were defending. They were falling back. It was a great communication, great cohesion with these players, and they have their flowers. They should get their flowers for doing something beautiful on the pitch of play. The captain rallied the players to tell them, it's 90 minutes. That's what she said at the mix zone. It's 90 minutes of play. We are not out yet. That's a good motivation coming from the captain, and that's the reason why she got the player of the tournament. Not forgetting Chemaka Nadozie, who got the goalkeeper of the tournament for just conceding 3 goals. So it's all good from the Super Falcons, and the fans were really, really convinced about the prowess of Justin Madugu. What they're asking, they're saying, give him a contract. Nigerian Football Federation. That's what the fans are saying. The fans, we sampled their opinions yesterday, say, let him take over the team. He has proven his worth. Luca.
All right, he has proven quality on the team, leading the girls to that huge victory. Let me also show you that, look, I'm also supporting the team from here. I've got my jersey right here, supporting the Super Falcons all the way. It got to a point I was almost going to, it doesn't look, my director is saying it's a Super Eagles jersey. It is Nigeria's jersey. We're supporting Nigeria all the way. And for Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and his Enugu State counterpart, Peter Mba, they've all congratulated Nigeria's senior women's football team, the Super Falcons, after winning that historic 10th Women's Africa Cup of Nations title. In separate statements released on Saturday, they praised the team for dedication, resilience, and inspirational performance on the continental stage. And of course, on your screen is the video where we saw the president, #1 man in Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu, congratulating the girls via a video chat. And he, of course, promised them that, look, when they come back home, they will have a shake of hands, and we know what that comes with. So the girls are in huge celebration when they come back. We've also got Itoro Jimmy, who is joining us as well to talk about the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Itoro, welcome to the show. Mission X is done and dusted. Now Nigeria, we are champions, 10-time champions, 10-time champions of the Women African football. We are #1 in Africa, and no one can beat Nigeria. Welcome to the show, Itoro.
Yeah, thank you so much, Udoka. It's a pleasure to be here. And of course, Mission X is accomplished. That's all we wanted from the very beginning, and it has happened, and we are happy. I am so happy. My voice don't go. It's something really beautiful, and I'm really happy for the girls. I'm happy for Nigeria. I'm happy for every football lover out there.
Right, happy for every football lover out there. We've still got Onyechi, who is still with us. She's still over there in Morocco. Onyechi, there was a story that broke some days ago about a former captain of the Super Falcons, Asisat Oshoala, where they said she had retired from international football. But of course, she came out to deny that rumor circulating on social media. She clarified that the Facebook post suggesting her retirement was from a cloned account and not her own. Oshoala is still focused on playing for the Super Falcons and has not made any official announcement regarding retirement yet. Let's quickly listen to Assistant Oshoala, then we'll come back, we'll take comments.
I don't know where that came from, and agenda must agenda. I get it, but I'm not bothered. I'm still here, I'm still playing, I'm still doing my job. That's what I'm focused on.
So agenda must agenda. Who would even go online to put that kind of information out that Assistant Oshoala had retired from football?
Well, Udoka, honestly, anybody would want to do that. Don't forget that before this tournament started, there were also rumors, spread across the social media space using accounts. Sorry about that, please.
About that story concerning Assistant Oshoala, she has come out to deny that claim, and I'm sure you asked her that question during the post-match interview.
Thank you so much, Udoka. I'm hoping that you're talking to me. All right. Yes, I did. I needed to clarify what we see on social media. Of course, we know that every single time that we see these stories, it's easy not to, or even better not to, spread it more, but make the clarification for the fact that we also had access to the Super Falcons camp. So I had to ask that question, given the chance. Of course, she had said she doesn't know where that is coming from. She's still with the team, still playing her game. She did say agenda must agenda. Yes, so many people needed to make an agenda out of something, and they're doing that, and it's fine. But it's good that she's been able to clarify that she's still with the team, because this team needs experience. We know how experience really was able to pave way for the Super Falcons in this Women's African Cup of Nations. Talk about Osinachi Ohale and her experience in the team. Francisca Odega, when she was put into the game from the group stage, you could see that being having the best stats as a winger, of course, in women's football so far in her career, you could see that she brought that into play. She brought that experience into play, not but for the injury that she got in this competition. Assistant Oshoala also, she was not given full 90 minutes at other games because Ijamilusi was able to prove herself that she's one that the Super Falcons can keep for a very long time. I tell you, if Ijamilusi has started this game from that first game against Tunisia down to the finals, she would have picked the player of the tournament. But the captain of the side will always step up, because at every time Ijamilusi is on the pitch of play, she carries the team on her shoulders. She moves. It's like she's been told, we die here. She keeps going forward, defending, going forward, attacking. She's doing beautiful jobs, going round the pitch at all times. That's what Ijamilusi keeps doing, and that's why she's always sealing her performance with a goal. Now, Ijamilusi was limping yesterday after that final, but you could see that she had that little trouble, but kept that trouble behind her and still fought for the team till the end. Experience here. We need this experience. She would have gotten this experience from Oshoala because she took that position. Gotten this experience from Oshoala, and that's the reason why Oshoala knew that, oh, the future is here and we're in good hands with the future. But you do not make an announcement of her retirement before she does. Give her a cutsy. Come on, you should. So she was able to clarify that yesterday, and I'm really happy she has been able to put to rest whatever rumors have been peddling.
Thank you very much, Onyechi Obaro. We are looking forward to having you back in town, back in the office, so we can celebrate better right here at News Central TV. Itoro, huge win for Nigeria. I'll give you because we're out of time, and I'll give you a minute to talk about the Super Falcons way forward. This is Mission X. It's been accomplished. What next for Nigeria?
Well, I would say just like Oye has sounded, I would say that, of course, the coaching department should really be fixed. Yes, Nigerians need to know that the Super Falcons coaching department is already fixed, because at this point, this coach has given Nigeria what they've been looking for, Mission X. This is his first attempt. He's been able to succeed, bringing joy to every Nigerian home today. I'm sure everyone out there is proud to call themselves or to say, I am a Nigerian because of the Super Falcons today. So they should be able to fix that department so that there is some level of stability in women's football, not giving try and error, kind of a way to do things. And of course, I'm happy for the Super Falcons, Mission X accomplished, and they should also bring in, of course, make sure that these girls that they've brought in stay with the team, because this is a very, very good fit. I must commend the coach for injecting this new set of players in the squad, and we've been able to see that bringing new players into the team is not bad after all. They needed the energy, they needed the experience, and both actually played out in this very tournament, and especially in the final. We saw what experience brought to the table in the final yesterday. We saw what energy brought to the final yesterday. So please, the NFF needs to actually sit down and finalize. Let them give Coach Madugu a contract so that, we know that that aspect is actually settled and we can move forward from there. Congratulations to Nigeria once again.
Congratulations to Nigeria. Thank you very much, Itoro Jimmy, for joining us. Always a pleasure having you on the show. Big congratulations to the Super Falcons of Nigeria and, of course, Onyinyechi Obaro. Thank you very much for joining. Like I said earlier, we look forward to you coming back home, and we celebrating. Great job that you've done so far over there in Morocco.